And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like and subscribe on the way in the door, my people. I hope you all are having a truly fantastic day today on this Tuesday. Welcome back, my people. I'm sure you all have heard and seen the big controversy going on with Platinum CFL member Shannon Sharpe. So apparently Shannon Sharpe is on the verge of signing a $100 million deal once his contract expires with the Colin Cowherd, the Volume podcast network. Once that contract expires, apparently he has a deal that's worth over $100 million on the table. And wouldn't you know, right as that gets announced, some SA allegations pop up. Now we're going to read this article from Front Office Sports. I'm going to read a couple of articles during this video. It says, as traditional media scrambles to evolve, Shannon Sharpe is on the verge of a blockbuster move. Sources tell Front Office Sports the Hall of Famer is closing in on a podcast deal worth more than $100 million, cementing Club Shay Shay as a media empire. Says Shannon Sharpe's media deal with Colin Cowherd's The Volume Podcast Network is up. Sources tell Front Office Sports the Pro Football Hall of Famer has received multiple offers and is expected to sign a deal that would exceed $100 million. Sharpe partnered with The Volume in August 2023, several months after leaving FS1's Undisputed, where he broke out opposite Skip Bayless. Club Shay Shay immediately took off to become one of the biggest podcasts in sports and entertainment, particularly on YouTube, where it's a juggernaut. Nightcap with co-host Chad Ochocinco Johnson also has a considerable audience. Sharpe's interview with comedian Cat Williams has reached 89 million views and counting on YouTube since premiering on January 3rd, 2024. Sharpe's Club Shay Shay has amassed nearly 4 million subscribers. A new deal will encompass all shows on the Shay Shay network, not just Sharpe's. That currently includes Club Shay Shay, Nightcap, Club 520 Podcast, The Bubba Dub Show, and Humble Baddies. Sharpe regularly appears on ESPN shows like First Take with Stephen A. Smith. Earlier this year, The Volume added Nick Wright's podcast and popular YouTube feed. Sharpe's agent could not be reached for comment on the negotiations. So we've all heard about this. That Shannon Sharpe on the verge of signing this huge deal, and then comes the allegations of SA. Now, immediately following these allegations, Shannon Sharpe releases text messages kind of exposing the nature of the relationship between him and Jane Doe. Now, during these text messages, he actually released the name of the person. So I'm just going to read a snippet of this article. This is coming from Yahoo Sports, and this is kind of talking about the text messages. So, it's, quote, I know you missed this big juicy A, $25K for each cheek, she allegedly wrote, according to the 44 pages of text Sharpe's legal team released. Before that message, Sharpe wished her a happy new year and said if she sent him $50,000, she could come over to his house. Another alleged message states, other adults only texts released by Sharpe's team include when Jane Doe allegedly texted Sharpe a photo of a woman tied up in a compromising position and wrote on March 5th, 2023, quote, tie me up like this and F me, with Sharpe replying, if I knew how, I would. She then allegedly wrote back, it's okay, I have handcuffs. We can stick to those for now. The two allegedly exchanged kinky messages again on January 31st, 2024. And when the accuser allegedly wrote, that just got my pee wet. Tie me up and do bad things to me. To which Sharpe then wrote, cuff up. It says Jane Doe allegedly wrote, you still have my handcuffs. I want like some hardcore BDSM action though. I feel kind of freaky lately. So like I said, this is just a snippet of those text messages, and this is coming from Yahoo Sports. Now, like I said, and somewhere that I saw, maybe it was actually on Dreamers Pro, that they actually did release the name of the woman. So, right here in these text messages, you can kind of see the nature of the relationship between the two. Now, I was watching a video, I can't remember where, but allegedly there's a video. Now, I'm not talking about the audio yet. I'm talking about actual video that the woman sent to Shannon Sharpe's lawyer threatening to release. Shannon Sharpe's lawyer said, hey, this video has been edited, and we're gonna need the original unedited video, and they refused to provide that. So now this article is coming from the New York Post that talks about that a little bit. Says Shannon Sharpe denies SA allegations in $50 million suit, makes claim of secretly recorded video. Shannon Sharpe has denied SA allegations levied against him in a civil law suit filed on Sunday, with the attorney claiming Sharpe's accuser presented the former NFL star with a secretly recorded and heavily edited video he says is designed to depict a non-consensual encounter. Sharpe, 56, is being used for $50 million by a woman under the pseudonym Jane Doe, who accused the current ESPN personality of essaying her in late 2024 and early 2025. Mr. Sharpe categorically denies all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the gross lie of SA, and will not submit to what he sees as an egregious attempt at blackmail. Sharpe's attorney, Lanny J. Davis, said in a statement that Sharpe shared on his X account, he stands firmly by the truth and is prepared to fight these false claims vigorously in court. So that happened. Like I said, alleged video coming out, but again, they said, or that the woman threatened to release that supposedly depicting SA, but according to Shannon Sharpe's lawyer, these videos were edited and they refused to present the unedited video. And now, last but not least, the latest thing that has come out is an audio clip. So let's take a listen to this clip.
Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing, Gabby. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm going to choke the out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Anything I say, you're just gonna get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like.
All right, now you heard the audio where Shannon says he's gonna choke the S out of her, and she doesn't have a choice in the matter. So what's going on here, people? First of all, let me start by saying this. If the allegations are true, then like anybody else, I would think that he should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, if they are true. But here's the thing. This is my opinion. He just is on the verge of signing this $100 million deal. These allegations come out. The woman is represented by this lawyer, Tony Busby, who is known to try to extract money from people with money. This is what this guy's reputation is. He recently attempted it on Jay-Z. He has allegations against Diddy. And what makes it all convoluted is that, the Diddy thing, obviously, probably, more than likely, a lot of allegations against Diddy are true, but that doesn't make them all true. With Jay-Z, no matter what you think about Jay-Z, there's been rumors out there about Jay-Z for years. And no matter what you think, whether they are true or not, what has been definitely proven, is that this guy, Tony Busby, does these kind of things. He's a guy who tries to extract money from people who has money. So again, Shannon Sharpe on the verge of signing $100 million. Allegations come out. The woman is represented by this lawyer who really can't be trusted, who doesn't have a good record as far as ethics. And Shannon Sharpe releases text messages showing the nature of their relationship. Like, their relationship is a freaky relationship. It is what it is. And, no matter what you think about it, this at least establishes what kind of talk they were doing between the both of them. Now, and then comes the video. Again, a video that she tries to use to say, hey, look, I'm gonna drop this, but the lawyer is saying, hey, this is highly edited. We need the original unedited video, which her and her lawyer refused to provide. And now we get the audio. Now, here's the thing with audio. It's gonna be much harder to prove that audio was edited. It's going to be much harder to prove that audio was edited. With video, you can look at it, you can see it's skipping from scene to scene. You can normally see the edits. You can tell that it's not a smooth running video from start to finish. You can tell that, hey, it's skipping around, pieces are missing. But with the audio, carefully put together audio, it's going to be harder to tell if that's the case or not. So with this audio, I kind of got is three ways you can look at it. You can look at it as, hey, maybe this audio is exactly what it sounds like. Maybe this audio is exactly what it sounds like and what the woman is claiming that it is. Or you could look at it, due to the relationship that they have, so this kind of freaking relationship, they could talk to each other in this kind of way all the time. Because it definitely sounds like this is a transactional relationship. So again, it looks like this could be how they talk to each other all the time. Like, we don't know this. Shannon Sharpe saying he would choke her. This could be a normal thing, and this could be just part of what they do. No matter how you feel about what it is, this could be what they do consensually on both sides. Because what else is suspicious is, like, why is this phone call recorded? Why is the phone call recorded unless you are planning to do something with this recorded phone call? Now, some could say, hey, well, she recorded the phone call to get proof of what was happening, and that's possible too. And then the other thing that could be the case, like I said, it could be that the audio is exactly what it represents, is exactly what the woman is claiming. It could be that, hey, they talk to each other like this all the time, and she recorded this as an attempt to get a bunch of money from Shannon Sharpe, but this is just the nature of the relationship. It's freaky. They talk to each other like this. They talk about handcuffs and choking and all this kind of stuff, and it is what it is. And the third thing is this could be an edited audio clip. When you listen to it from start to finish, there are parts that seem like the conversation seems a bit sketchy sometimes. Like, yeah, if you just listen to it, and even if you're listening to the noise in the background, there's potential, reason to think that maybe this is an edited audio clip. And like I said, with audio, it's going to be a little bit harder to prove that it's edited than video. But anyway, let's take a listen to this clip one more time.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like
I'm not gonna hang up on you. Here's what it is.
What does that even mean?
Nothing yet. You want to be a dick to me now, so.
I don't want to be. Don't manipulate me.
Oh, Lord have mercy. If you say that one more time, I'm gonna choke out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Well, I don't want to be choked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in the matter.
Anything I say, you're just gonna like get mad at, and you're just gonna hang up on me. So I feel like.
All right, so yeah, it gets to a point where there's a long pause in that audio. Right after he says he was gonna choke her, like there's like this long pause, and then he says, "Thank you," and and her voice is like, "Oh well, I don't want to be choked." Like it sounds like there could be something missing in context between when he said he was gonna choke her and that next part. So yeah, to me, there are parts of this video where it's definitely speculation that maybe this is an edited video. But anyway, that's it's no way to know this for sure, at least right now. I will say this. Again, I'm going to say a couple of things. There's a side of people who are like, look, Shannon Sharpe got money. Why would he need to essay somebody? And people say this a lot in terms of when it comes to people with money. It's like, oh, they got money. Why would they need to essay somebody? Because a lot of times people with money, it's not about that. It's about the power. It's about power. And in certain people with certain characteristics, it is about power. This is why we talk about the kind of things we talk about on this channel, about, being humble. This is why we talk about LeBron James so much on this channel, is because this guy is the kind of guy who abuses his power. This has been shown over and over again. So it's like the kind of people who would abuse their power, that's not just limited to certain things. They abuse their power in every way. So you can't just write it off as, oh, this person has money, why would they need to essay somebody? You really got to look at the pattern of what these people do. And if this person has a pattern of abusing power, you got to kind of take a look at that. Now, Shannon Sharpe, not one of my favorite people. Again, he's done some things that makes me question his character. It's like, again, everybody was defending Shannon Sharpe for what transpired between him and Skip Bayless, and Skip Bayless kind of sunning him right there on the show, and Shannon Sharpe not doing anything back, and everybody was, saying Shannon Sharpe should have done this, and some people were on Shannon Sharpe's side saying, hey, well, he handled it the best way considering they were on TV. He couldn't reach across the table and slap the guy for doing that. But people were, defending Shannon Sharpe when it came to Skip Bayless and what Skip Bayless did on air, feeling like Skip Bayless overstepped his boundaries. And then we see what happened when Chad Ochocinco had a moment where I think he was late for a show, and Shannon Sharpe decides to address it right there on air and try to son Ochocinco. And we're like, wait a minute, Shannon Sharpe. Like, weren't you just going through this same situation? Isn't Ochocinco your friend? Number one, whatever happened to make Ochocinco late for the show, it seemed like it was a valid reason. Like the Uber driver was late or his ride was late. Something happened that was like, hey, these kind of things can happen. But Shannon Sharpe chose to be unforgiving and try to son Ochocinco right there on air. And people were like, hold up, Shannon Sharpe. Like, this guy's supposed to be your friend. Even if you felt like it was unexcusable, you should have handled that off air. You should have said, waited till you got off air, and if you really felt a certain way, then you could address it and say, hey, look, Chad, I know, blah, 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 whatever, but you just got to do better about having a backup plan or whatever it is you wanted to say. But to do it on air seems very similar to what Skip Bayless did to you. It might not be quite apples to apples, but it's very, very similar situation. So, yeah, and then, just as time goes on, to me, Shannon Sharpe has shown more and more of his true colors, and that is not to be a person of integrity. Let's just be honest about it. Now, having said all that, like I said, Shannon Sharpe is not one of my favorite people, just like LeBron James is not one of my favorite people, just like Stephen A. Smith is not one of my favorite people. I feel like all these guys have the same thing in common, and that all three of these guys are the type who would abuse power. Having said that, it doesn't mean that he SA'd anybody. It doesn't mean that automatically. I'm just saying you can't write it off one way or the other. You can't definitively say it one way or the other. I will say this, because I think the main thing, like I said, what I try to do on this channel is, hopefully give advice for the younger generation who are pursuing their dreams, who are trying to figure life out and whatnot, is that if you are ever put in a position of power, or if the dreams that you are chasing will eventually put you in positions of power, and by that I mean a lot of money. Power comes in varying degrees. It could be an actual position of power, whether you're talking about being in control of other people, or it could be in a position of power, meaning that you have a lot of money and people are going to be much more likely to acquiesce to your demands because they want to be in your good graces, because they want to be beneficiaries of your success, because they want to be part of the entourage. They want to be your friend now. If you're chasing dreams that's going to find you in any of these positions, it is very, very important that the more power you get, the more you check yourself, and the more you surround yourself with people who will check you, and the more you keep an open mind to be willing to be checked. This is very important because, again, most people can't handle power. And what eventually happens is when you get so used to everyone obeying your requests and demands, you get to a point to where you feel entitled to it, to where you feel that this is the norm, that you expect these things. Matter of fact, someone telling you no seems oppressive. Someone telling you no seems like they're hating on you when you get into these positions. So the higher you climb, you really have to be conscious of your state of mind. You really have to be conscious of like, oh man, you know, I'm getting this money and people are coming from every angle and everybody wants to give me this and give me that and the women are coming and all this and you really got to be scrutinizing of who you allow around you in every way. In friends and relationships and romantic relationships, you got to be very scrutinizing. You got to use a whole lot of discernment and discretion when choosing and not get carried away by your ego and desires. So much so that you lose perspective. So much so that you start to become reckless. So much so that you think, hey, I got money and power. I can get out of anything. I can wiggle my way out of anything. You know, I can pay off lawyers and judges. I can do what I want. When you get to that position to where you no longer have the mental capacity to check yourself and question yourself, and to where you no longer are surrounding yourself with people who will check you and question you, rest assured the downfall is coming. Rest assured you're gonna, and here's the other thing that happens, is maybe you will get out of a lot of situations. You probably have enough money and power that you will get out of a lot of situations, but that's just gonna continue to flood your ego. That's gonna continue to make you feel more and more invincible, to one day, you know, you might find yourself in the NBA with so much money and power that you get your podcast partner a coaching job, that you get your son a job playing alongside you. And that you start a war with mainstream media to which you cannot win, and then everybody starts to come out and expose you. Or, you know, you could be a rap mogul who's been getting away with what you've been getting away with for years until you're not getting away with it anymore. The point is when you get to the point to where you feel like you can't be stopped, rest assured, you can always be stopped. Now the question is are you going to have the will to stop yourself before someone else has to stop you? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, people. What do you think of this whole thing going on with Shannon Sharpe and these allegations? Do you think it's any truth to them, or do you think it is a money grab? At this point, based on everything that's happened, I tend to think it is a money grab. That's my personal opinion. And that is, as always, LeBron James fanboys, this ain't got nothing to do with the video, but we hope you guys are having a terrible day. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. You all have a truly fantastic day, and I'll see you next time. All right.